is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. What time is it? 1:14 p.m. Yeah, a little late for me, huh? Well, you either do it or you don't do it. So, give me a second chance to do it. Let's talk about second chances. Second chances. Okay, let's talk a little bit about second chances. I have the DJI Action 5 Pro recording this right now, right? I mentioned to you that I had dropped my DJI Action 5 Pro on the floor like twice. Yep, dropped it twice. Scratched the lens. So now everything in the middle seems to be a little hazy. Yeah, because the lens is scratched. What are you gonna do? I mean, you could leave the lens filter, but really it doesn't filter anything. It creates more of a green line that goes across when the sun hits it in the right spots. And it, even with it not there, which eliminates that green line, you still get that trumpet looking thing when the sun comes in the right angle, right? So anyway, so I haven't used that camera in a while. It's recording right now, okay? So take a look. Does any part of the center of the screen look like it's out of focus to you? Giving it a second chance. Now, I think if we were focusing in on certain areas, like for instance, if my shirt had words that were printed where you can actually read it and all that stuff, you might notice it then. But if the center of the screen is just kind of like, like your shirt that doesn't have anything of definition, would you really notice it? Yeah, see, that's the question. Let me know in the comments, do you notice any degradation of image quality in the center parts of the screen with this camera? Now, giving it a second chance, if it works, then that means, of course, I can leave this camera in the car, only bring in the camera to charge and leave it in the car, and whenever I feel like pulling it out, it's always with me, right? The other camera, on the other hand, has been my main camera at this point, which records my e-bike rides and anything else that I want to do. I mean, I know now how not to let the camera fall. It fell because I had that magnetic mount, that necklace mount. I was doing some of those food review things, right? So that's what caused it. But I know now, don't use the necklace mount thing and try to adjust your camera, because the magnet won't hold it in certain positions and it'll fall. So, second chances. Here's another example of second chances, okay? A friend of mine's mentioned to me that that at his son's school, if he doesn't do well on a test, they give you a second chance. Yeah, you could actually take the exam again to try to improve your score. Okay, I don't know if it's the exact same test, but a similar test, right, for a second time. And if your score goes higher, then you get the higher score. So I said, well, what happens if the score goes lower? He goes, well, they always take the higher score. So now, here's the question. Should students be given second chances like this? Or should they just, if they got a low score on the first test, that's what they get? What's your feeling on that? I'm curious, okay? I'm curious about this. Now, there's a couple of thinking behind this. Give the kid a second chance, let him improve his score, and he might actually do better for the future, because now he understands it better because he studied a little bit more and took the test again, okay? All right, that's the one argument. The other argument would be, hey, when I went to school, I didn't get a second chance. If I had a bad score on the thing, that's my score. Shouldn't be given a second chance. What do you think? See? Should it be given a second chance or no second chance? Let me know. good or is it not so good? Now, here's some advantages of giving a kid a second chance. It could raise the overall academic I'm trying to think of a good word, school ranking, let's say. Okay, you could raise the school ranking if everyone actually, instead of getting 60s, ended up at 80s. You see what I'm saying? Because they took a second chance and took a second exam. Now, those who don't want to take the exam a second time, they don't have to. Those who want to improve their score can take it, and they could actually improve their score. So I was thinking, if I didn't do well on the first test, I'd probably want to take it again. I mean, if there's no penalty of going down in the grade, or, they don't even average it. They just give you the higher of the two scores. I'm watching two kids on a scooter, riding together on the scooter, motorized scooter, on the sidewalk. Yeah, they won't be able to do that for a while and soon, because they're going to crack down on those guys. It's not guys, two girls. Yeah, they're still going. Anyway, what's your thought of that? Okay, now let's say they average it. All right? You can take it a second time and they give you the average of the two scores. So if they average it, if the second time you take it, it went down, then does that mean you'll get a lower overall score? I guess if that's what they're going to do to average it. But some things don't. They'll let you take a second time and then they'll average it, but they'll average it for the higher of the score. Meaning if you went lower in the second test, they'll give you the higher score. But if you went higher in the second test, they'll give you the average of the two scores. Okay? And then the alternative is, if you take it again and you get a very high, a second score that's higher, you get the second score, but not the average of the two. See what I'm saying? Which is the best way to do it? Put a comment. And why? Don't just tell me, okay, this one way is better. Tell me why. Why is that better? Should kids get a second chance if they take the exam again? Now, some might feel if they went through the hassle of studying again and took the test again and they went higher in the score, then they deserve to get the higher score. But wasn't everybody supposed to be studying for this exam? And you didn't, and you didn't do well the first time, then that's what it is, because everyone took it, and that's what it is. And those who didn't take it a second time, well, it's pretty much an even playing field if everyone only gets to take it once. But if some gets to take it twice, and then that second time that guy goes even higher than the first time than the guy that didn't retake it, is that right? Let me know what you think. I was thinking about that over the weekend, and I was thinking, is it right to give them a second chance? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of similar to me when people say, we play soccer, nobody wins, nobody loses, everybody's a winner. Is that right? Let me know about that. How do you feel about that? Everyone's a winner, nobody's a loser, everyone gets a trophy. Participation trophy. Participation trophy, nobody's a winner, no one's a loser. We encourage all the kids. What do you think about that? Now, the old school in me would say, hey, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. And if you didn't do well, you lost, you're out of luck. It's participation trophies. Let me know what you think. That's a second chance. Isn't that a second chance? Well, that's technically not a second chance. That's a participation trophy. But really, should you get a trophy for participating? Should kids get trophies? Think about that. Should kids get trophies? What does that teach kids? Work hard, you get a trophy? I don't know. Blue ribbons? I don't know. Oh well, anyways, that was on my mind. So I had to share it with you guys. Get your ideas, get your thoughts. I like it when you guys actually think through some of the stuff and put your comments about it. Yeah, really makes, to me, it makes the video more fun. Then I get something out of it too. Is it my second chance? No. I get something out of it because I get to read what your thoughts are. And let me encourage those who watch this channel and other channels, look at some of the comments that people make on videos. Some of them are pretty interesting. Some of them like, what did the guy say? What's he trying to say? I will say this, okay. Reading comments have been an eye-opener for me for the last 6 years because, well, sometimes the comments are, they kind of ramble, just like I do. They kind of ramble, and you can't really make heads or tails out of what the guy wanted to say until you read it a second time. Second chance. Sometimes I have to read it twice, maybe 3 times even, before I say, okay, this is what he really means. Okay. Because not everybody writes, perfectly sometimes. Well, there's a lot of things that could cause people to get confused. I mean, if you don't use punctuation and it just looks like one long run-on sentence, a lot of people do that too, by the way. It's hard to follow sometimes. You have to kind of, in your own mind, break it up where you think the breakup should be, right? Where's it break? Those girls that we just passed, I don't know if you saw it on the, back up the video and look at it, saw them in the side window there. Those were the girls that were on scooter. They must have went around, and then since we got stuck at stoplights, they caught up to us there. They were just kind of waiting. Let me move my car over here. And what were we talking about? See, they take my mind away from something, and then I forget about all the stuff we were talking about. Yeah, okay, run-on sentences, right? That's what it was. Sometimes it's hard to know where to break into sentences if you just, no punctuation, no capitalization. You don't know where the sentence breaks, so you've got to read it a couple of times just to understand it. Others, spelling is not the greatest, all right? But I can usually figure out the spelling, the misspellings, because they're close, right? It's the lack of punctuation sometimes that makes me have to read it a couple of times to understand what's being said. And some people don't write. They don't write with proper English. It's kind of, I don't know what kind of English you would call it, improper English, and that makes it hard. Yeah. So, but those are the challenges, right? So, yeah, read some comments. All right, what else is happening? Well, let me know about this camera. Do you notice any not as sharp areas at all? I don't think it will be that big of a deal, really. Because, I mean, the only thing that might possibly be a sharp issue might be directly at the microphone, because there's a separate object there, But if the center happens to hit on the shirt somewhere, can you really notice it's slightly blurred? Because it's a shirt, it's cloth. I mean, how could you tell? So, yeah, let me know what you think, because I'd like to give this camera a second chance. Wow, there's a whole bunch of kids out on bikes and scooters in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. One kid just went by with his scooter. Now the guy with his e-bike is going, and then 3 other scooters are going, of which one of them has 2 people on it. Yeah, that's not going to be a long time thing. Only one of them had a helmet. Yeah, they're going to crack down in this area. All right, we are passing through Prospect Heights, I believe. Mount Prospect has come out with some rulings. I'm sure Prospect Heights is going to follow Mount Prospect's type of ruling. I'm guessing, because they're right next to each other. They're both having the same name, Prospect, in there, right? So I'm just guessing. But yeah, they're going to crack down on the kids with the scooters and e-bikes. Yeah, they're at least in my area, which is a couple towns over now. You have to be at least 16 with a driver's license to ride either a scooter or an e-bike. Yeah, they'll start cracking down in spring, they said, but they're trying to get the word out now so that you're ready for it in the spring. So, at worst case, what will happen now is they may get stopped by the police and say, hey, be careful. Rules are coming down soon, give them the warnings. And then next year, that's when they're going to start cracking down on them. Yeah, they'll hold the kid. They say, well, at least in our area, they'll hold the kid until the parents come pick them up. Yeah, they won't let them ride it back home. They'll say, you're not supposed to be on the scooter, and they'll hold them there, wait for the parents to show up. Parents aren't around, then they're going to bring the kid to the police station, and then the parents will have to pick them up at the police station. Yeah. Can you imagine that phone call? You know, hi mom, can you pick me up at the police station? That's not gonna look good. No kid wants to do that. Or the parent, or the cops will call. Probably the cops will probably call. Make the kid make the phone call. You get your one call, kid. Make that dime count. Yeah, phone calls. Yeah. Anyways, that's about all I got for you guys for today. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what your thoughts are on second chance stuff and about the camera and whatever else we happen to have talked about. Talk to you guys next time.